For 10 years, Disney has been bringing us closer to nature with a series of animal-focused documentaries. Named Disneynature, the intent of these films are to not only show us adorable animals up close, but also to help the environments the animals live in and prevent their extinction. Of course, this Disney tradition goes back even further in the company's history. Inspired by the research footage compiled for Bambi, Walt Disney thought movie audiences would love to see documentary footage of animals, insects, and even flowers in the wild. Thus, in 1948, the True Life Adventure series was born, consisting of documentary features and shorts narrated by Disney storyman Winston Hibler. This was an impressive collection of educational material that would earn Walt Disney 8 Academy Awards, and brought previously unseen footage of wildlife to a mass audience. In 1960, the True Life Adventures were retired, as Disney started to focus most of his resources on its theme parks and City of the Future. However, inspired by the success of March of the Penguins, the studio decided to commit to making nature documentaries again, and the Disneynature label was launched. The idea behind these documentaries was to showcase the beauty of animals and the environment, and famous actors were also recruited to narrate them. The first one to be released was Earth in 2009, which had more of a general theme about the planet. Oceans, meanwhile, focused on sea life, and then African Cats had an emphasis on lions and cheetahs of the savannah. We then got individual movies focused on chimpanzees, bears, monkeys, and penguins, plus one about animals living in China. Disney has released each of these on Earth Day, with a portion of ticket sales going to help environmental causes and animal preservation. It's almost become an annual tradition, although Disney has skipped a few years. Each documentary typically involves the filmmakers taking the footage they have and creating a story by following some animals as they try to survive the dangers of their environment and make a life for themselves. While the True Life Adventures were well regarded, they did have the occasional controversy, especially 1958's White Wilderness, and how the filmmakers manipulated lemmings for seeing where they jump off a cliff. As this controversy is somewhat known among animal experts, Disney is more open about how they accomplish the shots in the Disneynature documentaries, and each film includes behind-the-scenes footage of the filmmakers and camera team at work. Nonetheless, while the crew clearly leaves the animals alone and to their own devices, there's still a bit of manipulation involved. For example, in Monkey Kingdom, there is a scene where the monkeys enter a schoolhouse, and there are some strategically placed Disney mugs on the table. I wonder how those got there. The narrations also tend to emphasize cuteness, and while there is some educational value peppered in, the actors are hired to bring some of their personalities to the scripts. Tim Allen was definitely hired to narrate Chimpanzee so he could slip in one of his trademark grunts.
Power tools.
Meanwhile, John C. Reilly's narration for Bears shifts between informative, him retreating back to voicing Wreck-It Ralph, and him reading his children a bedtime story. The footage is edited in such a way to create a narrative, and the narration drives much of the story and exists to humanize these animals. However, it's important to remember Disney is not making these films for animal and nature experts. Disneynature films are intended for a younger audience to be enchanted by the sights and sounds of these incredible animals. While they do occasionally show them trying to escape predators, there is mainly an emphasis on showing how cute the animals are, and they do pick the most adorable shots to incorporate into the documentaries. The animals are indeed cute, and I cannot help but smile the first time they walk or crawl or fly on screen. Another major component these films do extraordinarily well is the cinematography. Whether up close on the animals or via helicopter shots, the large team of camera people who film these documentaries capture some stunning scenes of nature at work. They travel through a wide variety of locations, so each documentary feels distinct and unique. So that combination of adorable animals and amazing camera work is to me a large reason for the appeal of seeing the Disneynature films on the big screen. I think Walt Disney, with his True Life Adventures, wanted to give viewers an experience different from what they can get at a zoo. Zoos are certainly fantastic ways to see the animals up close, but the animals are primarily relegated to enclosed areas. Safaris are preferable, and one of my favorite attractions when I went to Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park many years ago was even the Kilimanjaro Safari. However, the Disneynature documentaries offer an opportunity to see the animals in their natural habitats, and that provides fantastic learning experience for children who might watch these movies. They are also short and to the point, usually clocking in at about 70 to 80 minutes, so they're unlikely to wear out their welcome even with the style of narration used. I make fun of aspects like their use of narrative and the celebrity voices, but the Disneynature films really are good and worthy of viewing, especially if you're an animal enthusiast like I am. While Disney has tried to release a new film every Earth Day, they have skipped out a few years for odd reasons. The Disneynature films are French co-productions, and a few films have gotten releases over there, but somehow end up going direct-to-video in the rest of the world. A particularly perplexing one was Dolphins, which Disney advertised as receiving a theatrical release on Earth Day 2018, but then never showed up. The French got to see it, but what about the rest of the world? Rumor has it Dolphins will appear on Disney Plus though. The Disneynature films have not exactly been box office breakouts, although Chimpanzee did hit $10 million on its opening weekend, because I guess people love chimps. Yet Disney continues to back these documentaries, and I think that's wonderful. In addition to the incredible environmental causes they have supported, they are a good learning experience, edited into easily digestible packages. They are a worthwhile continuation of what Walt Disney set out to do with its true life adventures, and I look forward to seeing what other furry animals they film in the future. See you next time.